meeting. Now, this isn't the first time Mr. Clinton has amended past statements.
She, too, has amended statements. So the question is, did you find him believable yesterday when he said he was mystified? He said he was absolutely mystified.
Well, I'll tell you one thing is clear. Bill Clinton's band of dirty spin meisters is finding it a lot harder to twist the boss's zipper out of his latest jam. On the phone, looks like Tara in Palatine.
Yeah. Hi, Don. Hi, Roma.
Hi, Tara.
I was wondering what you thought of the White House coming up with the next day 3 letters from this woman when they couldn't come up with legal documents or FBI files. I mean, I just feel like they had a just-in-case file for this lady.
They had letters. They had, in fact, telephone logs about when she called and what her messages were on the telephone logs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like they were already feeling like they might have to cover themselves someday.
They sure have reacted differently to Kathleen Willey as opposed to Monica Lewinsky. I mean, they've been lying low ever since Monica Lewinsky came forward. Nothing.
Right.
And then Kathleen Willey, back a year ago when she was first being subpoenaed, or when she was battling her subpoena from the Paula Jones people, because she didn't want to have to answer that subpoena. The administration wouldn't even officially confirm that she had ever worked in the White House at that time.
Yeah.
So, and now all of a sudden we found all these letters and phone logs and every single detail.
Yeah, how did they come up with that?
Yeah, they came up with it mighty fast. It didn't take 2 years and find him in the book room.
Tara, why would she... Oh, is Tara gone?
Yeah,
okay.
It's 17 until 7. Carla Marinucci is a writer with the San Francisco Chronicle, and yesterday on CNN she was asked, what are people saying in San Francisco about Kathleen Willey?
Well, Bernie, as you know, San Francisco, real strong Bill Clinton stronghold, Hillary country all the way. I heard from women today who said they really forced themselves to watch this interview on 60 Minutes, and they are very disturbed and depressed. I'm hearing a lot of concern that goes back to the first days of the Monica Lewinsky scandal, because this was no wannabe groupie as Monica Lewinsky was described. This was somebody described her as Betty Crocker telling this story, and it's very hard to dismiss Betty Crocker. She came off very credible to many, many women, and there's a real feeling that this really bodes for a lot of trouble for Bill Clinton. The sexual harassment issue is something that they just can't ignore.
Yeah, and then they asked Jody Allen, who writes for Slate.com, what is the main White House battle plan going to be?
Well, that they are, as Howie Kurtz was saying, treading on some very dangerous ground here, because she is so credible, because her answers were those that most women looking at her thought to themselves, gee, that's the way I would answer that question if I'd had that experience. So that if they go at her too hot and heavy, they do face the Anita Hill problem. On the other hand, you can already see them putting together a battle plan here, trying to impugn her to say, well, she remained friendly. But we knew that already, and this time you can throw back at them the answer they often give, and that is, that's old news. She did, in fact, have jobs afterwards, and many people think that the White House went out of its way to do favors for her. But we can expect more criticism to come.
Yeah, and Christina Hoff Summers writes for the American Enterprise Institute, and she was asked, what are your thoughts about Kathleen Willey?
I think the case has changed fundamentally, because I think up till now reasonable people could disagree about what position to take about something going on between consenting adults. But in this case, she was so credible. And in fact, the Kathleen Willey case is a textbook example of sexual harassment. The case against Judge Thomas, I always felt, was trumped up, and it had many anomalies, and it really wasn't a very sound case. Yet the feminists jumped on board, and we had members of Congress and railing against Judge Thomas, when the case that Kathleen Willey presents is quite credible.
And she was asked then, this is Christina Hoff Summers of the American Enterprise Institute, was asked, does Ann Lewis have a tough sell?
Oh, indeed she does. And I think it would be interesting to go back and look at her comments about the case against Clarence Thomas and what she's saying now about Kathleen Willey. And just juxtapose the two comments, and you see that there's some incredible hypocrisy in the White House and in the feminist movement with regard to these issues.
Kevin is in Chicago Heights. Good morning, Kevin. You're on WLS.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Kevin.
First of all, I'm very afraid to be calling because I'm not ready to meet Vince Foster yet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, right.
But at any rate, Clinton made a statement yesterday that absolutely proves how he can spin things and lie about things. You had commented on how he said he didn't watch the 60 Minutes piece on Sunday night. But most importantly, what he said is, and I quote, "I have no idea what she said because I didn't watch the 60 Minutes piece." Now, whether he watched 60 Minutes or not is irrelevant to me. You mean to tell me that nobody in the White House discussed with him what was said on 60 Minutes, that the subject was closed?
I have no idea what she said because I didn't watch it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care whether he watched it or not. You mean that subject was closed? Nobody talked about it? He has no idea what she said?
I know that he and Hillary generally retreat when things like this are going on and try not to watch things.
But he's got thousands of spin doctors.
Yes, they do. I know that. And they would probably get full reports on it.
Hang on. There's guys in a limo pulling up right now. I got to go.
Guys, okay. All right, carefully your kneecaps.
Well,
13 to 7 at WLS.
George Stephanopoulos, the former White House aide, says that this is a dangerous situation for them. She sounded credible. She can't be linked to right-wing opponents of the president like so many others, like Paula Jones, etc. And he compared the questions about which Ann Lewis raised with the questions with the comments Ann Lewis made about Anita Hill, and went on to say the White House is engaged in a very perilous game.
Yeah, well, I just got a fax here to the WLS Ace Hardware fax line, 312-984-5283, and it's from, who's this from? It's good fax. I can't quite figure, this is this Tom? Yeah, I guess. It says one thing that everybody is leaving out of the Willey case is that of Monica Lewinsky. Lewinsky and Lewinsky's mother back up the credibility of Kathleen Willey. Don't forget about the talking points, if we want to talk about letters. Also, Landau chartering a plane for Ms. Willey. Obviously, the White House knew what happened and tried to spin it a lot sooner than yesterday's wind-em-up Ann Lewis doll's performance.
Yeah, but then you've got the information that Kathleen Willey has been shopping a book, is trying to get a book together.
Why doesn't anyone question Clinton's credibility and not Willey? Don't forget that he lied about Jennifer Flowers, was caught on tape asking Flowers to lie. I mean, that tape's been played everywhere, saying just deny it and no one will know anything. And then he stands before the American people and says he has never asked anyone to lie, not once. But there it is on the tape, telling Jennifer Flowers, you just don't say anything, just deny it, and no one will know anymore. And then he's saying he's never asked anyone to lie, or he's never used the word lie. He says, I've never asked anyone to say anything but the truth, ever. And as Cokie Roberts said, why should we believe him now?
I have a question, though.
Yes.
The elderly, in particular women, but I was nearly attacked by a group of elderly people yesterday who were just absolutely convinced that this woman, Kathleen Willey, was paid. She was paid. This has to be for money. She made hundreds of thousands of dollars for doing that. They're paying her to do that. She was lying. She was acting. She was unbelievable, etc. And yet the polls and the papers say that she came across as being much more believable than the president.
Yeah.
Even though they still give the president a good job rating. His personal approval rating has plummeted, but his job rating is still high. And she got better credibility in these polls than the president did. So why would the elderly in particular find this to be so outrageous and that she should, be beaten with sticks and burned at the stake?
I don't know.
Explain that to me.
9 until 7, the WLS Chicagoland weather.
I'm bum-fuzzled about this. Cloudy, warmer today, rain likely, high of 42. Tonight, rain is absolute with a low of 40. And tomorrow, 70% chance of rain with a high of 48.
It's 33 at O'Hare, 33 at Midway, DuPage 33, Lakefront 34, 9 minutes to 7. The WLS traffic with the guy dressed up as St. Patty's Day.
The giant shillelagh.
Leper.
Do you like the little four-leaf clover hat I got on this time? It's kind of green and
dressed
fuzzy.
up as a St. Patrick's Day leper.
Leper.
Not a con, just a leper.
Just a leper.
Whoa.
How's the traffic, Rick?
Well, we've got North 55 slowing you up Cass Avenue into County Line, Willow Springs Road all the way to the Dan Ryan. In from the Tri-State alone at about 45 to 50. 50 is that magic number, westbound Eisenhower, downtown out to 53. An hour already coming eastbound. Outbound Kennedy, watch for a crash at Damon in the left lane. 45 out to O'Hare, 30 on the inbound flow. Outbound Eden's accident at Wilson being pushed off to the side. Half an hour either way on that Eden's between the North Shore and the Kennedy Express lanes. Northbound Tri-State, an accident off to the side at Cicero. Northbound Lakeshore Drive, building around 57th. And so far, so good southbound between Hollywood and Randolph. This traffic report is a service of Fox News Channel. Get your news first, fair, and only from Fox News Channel. 24 hours on TCI and Media One cable. Check your local listings for Fox News Channel. They report, you decide. When you're on the go and you need to know, Chicago's News Talk 89, WLS.
8 until 7 at WLS. Roma, that's your little red book.
I was mulling over the John Maxwell book called Developing the Leader Within You. He writes in his book, when we are foolish, we want to conquer the world. When we're wise, we want to conquer ourselves. And we should start early. Perhaps the most valuable lesson in life is the ability to make yourself do the thing you have to do when it ought to be done, whether you like it or not. It's the first lesson that we should learn, and it's probably the last lesson that we learn thoroughly. Hard work is the accumulation of the easy things you didn't do when you should have. So start small. What you're going to be tomorrow, you're becoming today. It's essential to begin developing self-discipline in a small way right now, today, in order to be disciplined in a big way tomorrow. And so he offers a small 10-point plan that will make a big difference. First, list 5 areas in your life that lack discipline. Can you come up with those 5 undisciplined areas? I'll bet you can. Place them in order of your priority for conquering them. And then take them on one at a time. And secure resources like books or tapes that give you instruction and motivation as you conquer each area of your life that needs discipline. Ask a person who models the trait that you want to possess to hold you accountable for it. Measure you. Somebody you trust who exemplifies what you're trying to become. And then spend 15 minutes every morning getting focused in order to get control of this weak, undisciplined area of your life. 15 minutes, focus on it. Do a 5-minute checkup on yourself at midday. How am I doing? Have I blown it? What do I have to get together to get this disciplined before this day is out? Take 5 minutes in the evening and evaluate your progress. Allow 60 days to work on one area before you go to the next. Remember, you're only working on 5 areas. And then celebrate with the one you ask to hold you accountable as you show continued success. So go take them to lunch. Remember, having it all doesn't mean having it all at one time. It takes time. You start small, you concentrate. The slow accumulation of discipline one day makes a big difference. Ben Franklin said, it's easier to suppress the first desire than to satisfy all the ones that follow. A little self-discipline goes a long way.
If you don't know much about home theater, talk to the Little Guys Home Electronics in Glenwood.
We know home theater is a generic term and that there's a little bit of confusion out there on exactly what is home theater. We'll solve that for you. We'll take care of that. We'll make it easy. We'll show you what home theater is all about. And believe me, once you've experienced watching that movie with home theater, you're going to want it in your house. The energy, the excitement, the overall fun of watching a movie and listening to a movie with a home theater system just can't be beat.
The Little Guys are different from the big chain stores.
Giving great service, answering our customers' questions, dealing with their needs, and being there for them, that's what the Little Guys are all about. We deliver what the other guys promise.
It's March Madness with no payments and no interest for 12 months at the Little Guys, 184th and Halstead, where Glenwood meets Homewood. Call 708-754-8844 or visit their website at thelittleguys.com.
It is fun to shop at the Little Guys.
Okay, popcorn time. 4 minutes to 7 at WLS. You're in the office in the afternoon, and suddenly you smell it. Popcorn. Popcorn.
Pop, pop, pop.
Somebody's got popcorn, and everybody wants some.
Pop, pop.
Did you know you can give your employees fresh, hot popcorn from a theater-style popcorn machine for a
yummy.
fraction of the cost of supplying coffee? Oh, these are happy workers. The Popcorn Man does it. If you're in a bar or a restaurant business, if you want the best popcorn for your patrons, the Popcorn Man does it.
Factories, offices, hospitals, any kind of business, retail stores, car dealerships, give your customers theater-quality popcorn as a gesture of goodwill,
Or
you
sell
can
it.
even
Sell it
make
by
a
the
little
bag.
money with it. How about a party? A theater-style popcorn machine at your next party, birthday party, office party, backyard party, wedding, charity event, grand opening. What a great idea.
And all you do is pay the cost of the popcorn, and the theater-style popcorn machine, that's free to use. Call the Popcorn Man toll-free for details, 1-800-337-6726.
Pop, 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 pop,
The
pop.
Popcorn Man, 1-800-337-6726. It's 3 until 7, WLS.
Hey, could I interest you in a stripped-down car with a manual transmission, AM radio, and 4 wheels all standard? I didn't think so. If you're like most people, you're interested in a good deal, sure, but only on the model you really want. You know, the one with all the neat stuff on it. That's what's happening during Nissan's Spring Meltdown. For a limited time, you can get a Maxima GLE with a leather-trimmed interior, CD audio system, automatic temperature control, and more. Plus, up to $1,500 in factory-to-dealer incentives. Or choose a Nissan Pathfinder SE, leather-trimmed interior, CD player, temp control, anything and everything, plus up to $2,000 in factory-to-dealer incentives. And Nissan's offering special APR financing on every new Nissan, even the new Altima, along with some of the most competitive lease rates around. Nissan's Spring Meltdown. Great deals on cars you actually want. What'll they think of next? Hurry, these special offers end March 31st.
The Methodist Home of Chicago has long been at the forefront of caring for older adults with Alzheimer's disease. The Methodist Home was one of the first in Chicago to provide specialized care and an activity-based environment in a private home-like setting. Professional staff are specially trained to address the needs of the cognitively impaired. Activities are planned throughout the day, and private rooms allow for a lifestyle with a maximum of privacy and dignity. Alzheimer's can place tremendous stress on family members. The Methodist Home offers seminars and support groups to help keep them actively involved in their loved one's life. The Methodist Home at 1415 West Foster Avenue in Chicago, ready to help you and your family. Call 773-769-5500 and make an appointment. Both short and long-term care is available. The Methodist Home, meeting the needs of Chicago for over 100 years. Call 773-769-5500. The Methodist Home, where caring helps in growing older.
I have 1 minute and 3 reasons for you to consider Baker Square today. Let's start with the pocketbook issue. Only at Baker Square can you, when you order lunch or dinner, get a salad or a cup of soup with a half slice of pie for just 99 cents more. Reason 2, the pie. The award-winning Best Pie in America pie. Pie like the French silk, the country apple, or the caramel pecan silk supreme. Big, delicious slices of pie that can plain turn a day around. Oh, and don't forget, you can walk out with a whole one for as little as $6. Now, reason 3, a menu that makes the journey to the pie just as exciting as, well, the pie itself. Great sandwiches, wonderful salads, satisfying entrees. You can sit back, relax, and have a real meal. And add that super salad and half a slice of pie for just 99 cents more. At Baker Square, we keep it simple. A good deal, great food, and unbelievable pie. See you there.
Okay, before we move along here, the Don Wade enrollment, 2 observations. As usual, when Clinton was caught with his pants down, he dispatches a woman to do his heavy lifting. This time it wasn't Hillary. Remember when she lashed out at the vast right-wing conspiracy of the treacherous floozies, forcing her poor, helpless husband to accept their deviant sexual advances? No, not Hillary this time. It was all-purpose hit woman Ann Lewis who came out. How could Kathleen Willey complain about Clinton placing her hand on his crotch, said Barney Frank's sister, her brother who ran the prostitution ring out of the basement of his house. Ann Lewis wondered aloud when 3 years later she asked for a job on his campaign. How could she do that? Remember Ann Lewis in 1991? Unconditionally defended Anita Hill against her allegedly Harris-happy boss, Clarence Thomas, when she remained Thomas's loyal disciple for years after supposedly being Harris. There was Ann Lewis arguing two sides of the same argument. It was Ann Lewis making herself a laughingstock, but it's Bill Clinton shoving these women out there to do his protection
Is
business.
Ann Lewis really Barney Frank's sister?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You always make that crack. Is she really?
Is. Ann Lewis, who is the communications director for the White House, is Barney Frank's sister.
Huh. Well, they're real Washington
And the
insiders.
news conference yesterday, the other thing was...
We don't have time for that now.
Was the ducking and weaving by Mike McCurry. There are the questions, straightforward questions from Sam Donaldson and Wolf Blitzer. He pleads ignorance to basic facts, and the act is wearing thin, Mike McCurry. WLS News weather, traffic, and your calls. Cloudy, warmer today. Rain likely, a high around 42. It's 33 at O'Hare, 702.
News when you need it. News Talk 89.
WLS Chicago.
The White House launches an all-out campaign to discredit Kathleen Willey. Good morning. It's 7:03. I'm Jeff Hendricks, WLS News. The news brought to you by Midas Muffler. President Clinton's lawyer says a possible book deal could have prompted Kathleen Willey to go on national TV and accuse President Clinton of groping her. The White House has released some friendly-sounding letters exchanged by Willey and the president after the alleged sexual encounter. In one of the post-encounter letters, Willey refers to herself as Clinton's #1 fan. How are Americans reacting to all of this? Gary Langer has the findings of an ABC poll.
It's almost as if Americans are looking at two Bill Clintons, giving the president the worst ratings of his career for personal popularity, honesty, and personal morals, but among his best ratings for handling his job and especially the economy. It's because many people still draw a distinction between Mr. Clinton's personal behavior and his professional performance. 6 in 10 now think he has engaged in a pattern of sexual misconduct. If he broke the law, most say he should resign. But given what they know now with no proof of perjury, 70% say he should remain in office.
A CBS poll finds that 52% of Americans think President Clinton has engaged in reckless sexual conduct since becoming president. Even so, 67% approve of the way that he's doing his job, and a CNN poll puts his job approval rating at 63%.